survival and procreation. It wants to survive as long as possible. And that is why healing is the natural quality of the body. The doctors treat, they give treatment, but it is the body, the life in the body that heals. And if the healing capacity of the body is gone, that means the life is evaporating from the body, and then no treatment can help.
Un, ja ķermeņa dziedināšanas spējas ir zudušas, tad nekas nevar palīdzēt. Tas nozīmē, ka dzīvība iet prom no ķermeņa.
Similarly, procreation. The body, before dying, it wants to procreate another body.
Un tāpat ir ar dzīvības turpināšanos. Pirms miršanas dzīvība, viņa grib sevi turpināt, radīt vēl vienu dzīvību.
So that the manifestation of life in a particular body has a beginning and end, and it will come to an end. But before it comes to an end, let the manifestation happen in another body. So that is why the procreation is also the natural instinct of a body in which the life is expressed. And that is why the sex energy is so important. There is nothing wrong in sex energy.
Dzīvības izpausmē ir sākums un beigas, un pirms dzīvība beidzās, man grib sevi turpināt, un tāpēc arī seksuālā enerģija ir kopumā pozitīva, tas ir turpināšanās instinkts.
But the problem happens when the sex energy becomes sexuality.
Bet problēma sāks tur, kur seksuālā enerģija kļūst par seksualitāti.
The sexuality is mind, which is separation from life.
Seksualitāte, tas ir kaut kāda prāta darbība, kas mūs atdala.
And because we are so much in this stranglehold of the mind, see, this energy, which is there is nothing wrong in that, that becomes a profane sexuality and all kinds of problems starts.
Un šī enerģija, kurai pašai par sevi nav nekādas vainas, viņa kļūst negatīva un sāks dažādi veidi problēmas, jo cilvēks ir sapinies savu prāta džungļos.
All the problems in relationship, everything is all because the sensory perception becomes sensuality, which is mind. Sexual energy becomes sexuality, which is mind. And mind is not life.
Un viss problēmas ir no prāta, jo prāts tā nav dzīvība, kad jūtekļi vairs neuztver dzīvi tā kā viņai vienkārši jābūt, tad sākas visu šīs problēmas, jo cilvēks pārāk daudz domā ar prātu.
And freedom from the stranglehold of the mind, the domination of the mind, that is one of the main purpose of yoga.
Un viens no jogas galvenajiem mērķiem ir tieši atbrīvoties no šī prāta žņaudījuma.
And when the life takes over, it is the intelligence takes over, because life is intelligent, just as fire is hot. And mind is stupid, just as ice is cold. You see, the animals, they do not have much separation from life. That means they do not have much mind. And therefore, they have sexual energy, but very limited, only some seasons. Not like human beings, you see. Always involved, such a tragedy. And because of the life, they do not face so much problems, which the human beings are facing. As the human beings which run into all kinds of stupid things. This sexuality is so important. That is why we are publishing nude magazines, we are having pornographic films, etc. The animals do not do this. They don't need to do all these things. We are doing.
Dzīvniekiem atšķirībā no cilvēkiem ir šī seksuāla enerģija, bet viņiem nav tas prāts, un līdz ar to viņiem ir tikai pārošanās sezonas, bet viņus tas nenodarbina, viņu prāts tas nepārtraukt, kā tas ir cilvēkiem, līdz ar to rodās šīs problēmas, ir ļoti daudz dažādu pornogrāfisku izdevumi, dažādi žurnāli, kas traucējuši.
The practical problems have to be dealt practically. There is no spiritual solution to practical problems.
Praktiskās problēmas vairs no praktiskiem paņēmieniem, tos nevar darīt.
If you need food, you have to grow food. If you pray for food, nothing will happen.
Ja jums vajag ēst, tad jums ir jāizaudzē pārtika. Ja jūs lūksiet Dievu un viņš atsūt pārtika, un var darīties, ka viņš neatsūt.
If you need shelter, you have to construct house. If you need clothes, you have to have purchase clothes or stitch clothes, manufacture clothes.
Jums vajag paņemt, jums jāuzbūvē māja, jums vajag apģērbt, jums viņš ir jāizgatavo vai jānopērk.
And I'm telling people that through this will happen, that will happen, and it is all fooling around. You see, this spiritual marketeers and racketeers, they do all this. They say, no, there can be this solution, that solution. No, practical problem, practical solution. And spiritual problem means, the main spiritual problem is releasing our basic intelligence from the interference of the separative consciousness, the mind, the ego, the I. The ego is the cancer of the mind. And up to intellect, you see, there is memory and then there is intellect. We have vast memory and we have tremendous capacity to utilize this memory with all articulation, with all efficiency. That is intellect. And up to this there is no problem. That is responsible for development and discovery. But the problem starts with the mind, the vanity, vested interest, grabbing. That is the beginning of the mind. And then too much mind is ego. See, the 80% of the discoveries that human beings are making are utilized for manufacturing weapons of mass destruction. All nuclear bombs and all kinds of things. They are used for killing and being killed, not for human welfare. And only 20% are available from which you get all these facilities. And when this is there, such a little money for so many people, naturally there is all grabbing, holding, and all acquisitive, somehow I grab. That is why all these problems. The economic problem is because of this. The Mother Earth has so much of wealth. Nobody can go hungry. Nobody can go without shelter and without clothes, without food. Everybody will have enough. But unfortunately, this is all this tremendous selfishness that this I, the separative side, all wars are nothing but final exaggeration of that I, the separative side. And nobody wants to get rid of concubine because of fear. If I don't have meditation, somebody will attack. And this is going on. And the whole world is spending 70 to 80% of their development, their resources, etc. on military machinery. And naturally, the human beings will have to suffer. And all the talk of economics, and this is happening, this is rising, etc., stock exchanges are all shit. These are all deception. And nobody wants to see that. Without even knowing that it is happening.
Ego ir milzīgs potenciāls ne tikai mānīt citus, bet arī apmānīt pašam sevi, pat nezinot, zinot to, kad cilvēks to dara, pats to neapzinās.
And to be awake to this situation and to be available to an intelligence and awareness outside the separated consciousness that we have built up, that is the main purpose of yoga.
Galvenais jogas mērķis ir tieši pamosties no šīs stāvokļa un aptvert, kā mēs esam uzbūvējuši tādu neīstu ego un kā no tā visam atbrīvoties.
Yoga is not a goody-goody emotional philosophy or some physical fitness program to keep you amused and entertained. That is not yoga. Yoga is fire of awareness.
Joga nav nekāda emocionālā tāda labiņā programma vai kaut kādas fiziskās nodarbības. Tas var drīzāk ir uguns, apziņas uguns.